Assalamu alaikum dear students, this is Mr. Muhammad Shallagh from Communication Skills course. Today we will start Unit 7, Language and Culture. At the beginning, it's important to mention the skills that we are going to cover in this unit. First of all, listening skills. We are going to understand situation or situations. We will listen to many situations and try to get the gist or the general idea of these situations. Then we will learn more how to take notes. For example, if you are attending a lecture, how can you take notes from the presenter? And finally, you will decide what are the main points of any topic. In the speaking part or speaking skill, we have to learn how to use the contractions, the short forms, and we will learn how to start preparing our presentations, which is very important to be achieved by the end of this unit. In the vocabulary part, we will learn how to use the synonyms, which means the same meaning or the same word, two words with the same meaning. So let's start here with the first exercise, which is about listening. If you look at the picture here, we see that we have two persons, two men, are wearing formal dresses and they are talking maybe about some business or something. Our title here, listening, excuse me, do you speak English? Exercise 1, work with a partner, answer the questions. We have 3 questions here. If I ask you, how many languages do you speak? What can you say? You will think about, yes, I speak Arabic, English, maybe some people know other languages like, for example, French, Italian language, Chinese language. Okay, so you will say, I speak 2 languages, because he is asking you how many languages do you speak. So you will answer, I speak 2 languages, I speak 3 languages. Then count them, Arabic, English, and French. Arabic is my mother tongue. English and French are second or third languages. Question number 2, is more than one language spoken in your country? Of course, yes. So you will say that people in my country speak, for example, English, Arabic, some others speak French, and you can count other language that might be spoken. For example, if Indian people live in your country, so they use Indian language. Okay, so you will count these languages. The third one, what languages do children learn at school in your country? I think here in Oman, learners learn only English in schools because it is the international language and the only language that people use as a second language in the country. Now let's practice more about the listening. We have track 1, 7.1. Listen to the opening of a lecture. Opening means the beginning, the start of the lecture. Complete the information about the lecturer. Lecturer. Who is the lecturer? The person who gives the lecture. Yes. Tick the subject she mentions. So here we have she, so she is a female. We have a card here, lecturer. You have to tell me the name, the job, and the research interest. How what changes over what. When you finish the card, you have to go to the points below and take the suitable answer. Is he going to talk about language learning difficulties, bilingualism, or the importance of writing? Listen now, do your answers, then we will check the answers together.
7.1.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Harper, and I'm a lecturer from the Cultural Studies Department. My research area is how culture changes over time, particularly in relation to language. I'm going to talk to you about English as a global language. First of all, I'll talk about the importance of learning English, and after that, I'll look at the dangers of having a global language. Next, I'll talk about bilingualism, that is, people who speak two languages. And finally, I'm going to discuss communication issues. There will be time for questions at the end. We'll have about 10 minutes, and we're going to have a tutorial together next week to deal with further questions.
So here we have the answers, and if you notice that the speaker or the presenter didn't give us the spelling of his name, so try to write it as you hear it. So the name of the lecturer is Dr. Harper, and his job is a lecturer from Cultural Studies Department, and his research interest, he likes to work on how culture changes over time. And the subject that he is going to talk about, which is called bilingualism. Lingualism, from the language. Bilingualism, which means the person who speaks two languages. So we have this term, bilingualism. We have another term which is called multilingualism. Multilingualism, if you speak 3 or more languages. So here we will talk about bilingualism. For example, like us, if you speak 2 languages, English and Arabic, you are a bilingual person. Okay? Let's move now to talk about the study skills. Here in the part of the study skills, we will learn how to understand a situation. So it is sometimes difficult to follow a discussion in a listening task. Sometimes several people talk together. For example, 4 or 5 people are chatting or talking together about a specific topic in a listening task. So you have to understand how to get the ideas from this listening. What are needed in the listening task. So we have some points you have to follow. To understand better, ask yourself these questions. How many people are speaking? 2, 3, more? Put signs on your paper. If you hear the first person, put number 1. Another person is talking now, 2. Third one, 3, 4, 5. Whatever number of people, put signs. Then, what are the speakers' roles? Are they lecturers, students, presenters, teacher and a student, doctor and a nurse, a patient and a nurse, a doctor, something like that. So write the relationship between what are their roles. And after that, what is the relationship between the speakers? Is it a teacher-student relationship? Host-guest relationship? Are they colleagues? Work in the same college? Classmates? Like you, some students in a class, we call them classmates. So write these words next to the listening so you will understand the gist, the general idea easier in this way, and you will know the role of each person and what is needed from listening to that track. Let's practice on this now. So after reading the study skills, we have exercise 4, 7.2. Listen to the start of a tutorial following the lecture. How many people are present? You will only listen one time. So you will decide how many people are talking or present. The second point, exercise 5, 7.2. Listen again. Write the names of the people, the tutor's name, the visiting speaker name, and the students' names. So you have to answer now exercise 4 and 5 together. Listen.
7.2. Okay, so is everyone here? Ronesh, Simon, Roxana? Okay, let's get started. As you can see, my colleague Dr. Harper from the Cultural Studies Department has very kindly agreed to participate in today's tutorial as a follow-up to her lecture last week on Global English. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Harper.
Thank you, Professor Birchill. It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me along to answer your questions. Now, let me just do a quick name check. You're Ronesh? you're Simon, and you're Roxana?
That's right.
So here, as you hear from the speakers or the listening track, you understand that there are 5 people speaking in the track, right? Now, what are their names? The tutor's name is Professor Birchall. The visiting speaker is Dr. Harper. And the students are Ronesh, Simon, and Roxana. So here the first thing we did, we counted the number of people. There are 5. Then I decided the role of each person. So the first speaker is a tutor. What is his name? Professor Birchall. The second one is the visiting speaker. What is his name? Dr. Harper. The students, who are they? Ronesh, Simon, and Roxana. Now, in the next exercise, you have to know the relationship between them. We have exercise 6. Write the relationship between the speakers using the words in the box. Then listen again and check your answers. So you will listen again now and tell me what are the relationship between them. Listen just to understand in general. So we have classmates, colleagues, friends. Roxana, Ronesh, Simon, what is the relationship between them? And Dr. Harper, Professor Birchall, what is the relationship between them? Listen, please.
7.2. Okay, so is everyone here? Ronesh, Simon, Roxana? Okay, let's get started. As you can see, my colleague Dr. Harper from the Cultural Studies Department has very kindly agreed to participate in today's tutorial as a follow-up to her lecture last week on Global English. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Harper.
Thank you, Professor Birchall. It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me along to answer your questions. Now, let me just do a quick name check. You're Ronesh, you're Simon, and you're Roxana?
That's right.
So, after listening now, we understand that Roxana, Ronesh, Simon are students. We're in a classroom. So the relationship that combines them together is called classmates. Mates means like people or friends who join something. So sometimes we say if you live with a person in a room who's not brother or one of your family, we say that you are roommates because you share the room. So here the students, they share the classroom. We call them classmates. Dr. Harper, Professor Birchall, we call them colleagues from college. They are workers. They work together. They are lecturers or teachers. We call them colleagues. Now, in the next slide, we will have a listening exercise. It is a homework. Please send me the answer to my WhatsApp number. Okay? You have to write the numbers and the words together. Thank you so much.
7.3. 1,
Over 60.
2,
23,
3,
Over 90.
4,
as much as 80,
5,
600.
6,
half,
7,
Around 1.5 billion.
8,
approximately 75,
9,
In the thousands.